I got some freshly polished axes here. We got a Hi-Test Craftsman. This is a nice chunky axe. This will be really interesting to see how it does. I believe this is some silver maple. We've got a cruiser axe that's 2 pounds, 2.1 pounds. It's an American axe, True Temper. It's a very cool axe. It's really beat up, but I polished this end right here, and I polished the Hi-Test too. And then here's a staple of the channel. I've used, this is one of my more favorite recent builds for chopping. So I polished this one up as well. And then we got something goofy. We got this little Japanese hatchet. I've tried cross-cutting with this before, and it was more fun than I thought it'd be, so figure we give this a try. This is the only axe I actually have a sheath for and use a sheath for, because this is a pack axe, and I keep it in a bag at all times. And I try to walk around with that. I try to go hiking and bring my bag with me every time so I can get used to the weight. I did not polish this edge. It's a little more beat up, but it's still good. So we got some fun stuff coming. We're just going to do a few chops into this, see how these feel. I guess we should start with the smallest. And then we'll work our way up. And I'll tell you about each axe as well. So this will be the last one. All right. Let's see, how do I want to do this? You know, I'll tell you, that makes, it made the last chop kind of difficult. When the size of these things aren't, it's not perfectly round. It's hard to be accurate with this. Am I going to pop a chip? I don't think so. A little miss. The next one is gonna pop some chips. You'll be impressed. It's only just over 2 pounds, but because of the thick profile, really works better than it should. Holy shit, I'm gonna pop a chip. I mean, that's impressive. It's got a little bit of a longer handle for a hatchet, but it's too thin. I kind of messed up. But that was fun. Okay, and now let's go to this. Really thin Killinger handle. I think this is one of the nicest handles I've had on a double bit, but I think I tried it for a heavier one and it just didn't work. So this is definitely for a cruiser. But just watch this. It's a really nice axe. Really does not want to stick. That's really nice. Really cool axe. I almost want to keep going, but I feel like it's fair that we pop a chip, we move on. So the next axe, I suspect that this longer, thin Jersey, it won't do too bad on this silver maple. Let's see, because I had real trouble with that ash. Now this is a little smaller in diameter. It's probably like 10 inches the way I'm cutting it. But this is much softer and more forgiving timber. So 21-inch handle, about that. You know, I really don't measure handle length that often. Like, I'll make a handle, and sometimes I just don't care to measure it. So sometimes I'll say, you know, it's 22, and then, you know, months later I'll actually measure it, and I'll realize, really, it's not. There's another part of handle length that I want to talk about. So when you measure an axe, you measure from the top of the eye to the bottom of the handle, but really the measurement is where your hand stops. So if you have a real long palm swell, what's the point of measuring that palm swell if your hand is stopping 2 inches before the end of it, you know? So as you can see, this is pretty close to the bottom, which is what vintage handles will be like. Vintage handles, there's no big end, right? They finish it in a factory. They don't, sometimes they press fit it on, so they don't need to smash the bottom of the handle. And even if they did smash the bottom of the handle, they would remove the extra material after. Some people do that in their shop. I do that sometimes. Most of the time I shape it a little bit, but I might leave a little bit extra on, like that Red Oak Rockaway handle. Okay. Whoa, that was one of my worst misses. Huh. I mean, I guess I popped the chip. That's not fair. I was just starting to have fun. All right, so now we got the Michigan pattern. Ooh, I cut this handle. One thing that'll happen when you're throwing axes together and you don't have all the heads aligned, sometimes you'll just throw a cutting edge right into your handle, leave a little mark. This isn't a big deal though. It's the reason why wood is so awesome. It's no issue here. I can just sand that really quickly. I can honestly do it with another axe, but I can get away with using it. That doesn't count as popping a chip. Maybe that jersey is off. You saw it wasn't cutting right. We'll just pop this chip and then call it a day for this axe.
I continued for 20 minutes.
Man, you could really tell when an axe is really set for cross-cutting well. And this one, with its banana grind, that's killer. That's a killer axe. This is a little more, so now we're going to move to the biggest axe. This is a little more barbaric, this edge. It's just kind of a big bevel, and it's not even that even. This side has a bigger bevel than this side. So let's see how it does. Not a great handle, but I reshaped it a little. It's a little better than it was, but not perfect. Also a long handle, which I don't like. This should pop the chips the best, by far. And it should do the most work, too. Oh. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Now we're having fun. I haven't swung a big axe in a while. Nice thing about a big axe is you really don't have to swing it very hard. You really got to whip a boy's axe or a cruiser. You really got to put some speed into the head. A little stickier than I thought. Probably because of the rudimentary edge. Whoops. Not my finest performance when it comes to aim. It's nice that chips become little shims to help you with your timber if it's moving. Obviously, This is not what you usually cut. You usually cut the timber whole, you know. I just kind of get what I can get for free without cutting anything myself, really. It's because the tree service guys they're doing this anyway. And sometimes I could stop them and get long pieces before they cut it. But I'll take what I can get. Yeah, a little sticky, but I am deeper in now. We'll go back. Let's go back to the cruiser. Let's see if I enjoy this more. Whoa. That profile's doing something. I prefer this. Holy shit. I mean, it's so easy. It's effortless when it's 2 pounds. Absolutely effortless. I'm going to show you the profile after. Comes out easy. This is why sometimes a stubby axe is really great. This is super worn. It's coming loose a little. All right, do a little flip. Oh, we still have some more. Let's finish. So when that happens, what I'm looking at is that the top of the notch has gone to the middle, right? This is how I'm judging. The top is in the middle of the log, but the bottom has more to go to get to the middle. So that's what I'm seeing, and that's very common. The bottom's the hard part, especially when it's kind of an oblong piece. And, you know, it's not perfectly round, so might be a little goofy. All right, let's see if we can get this done. Going into the dirt a bit. Got to flip my axe up, because otherwise I'll hit the top of the notch with the handle. Now I can't even see. Now it's good, or good enough. What, should we keep going with this? I mean, that's normally what I do when I'm trying out a bunch of axes. I just kind of gravitate towards the one that feels the best, you know, most efficient, most comfortable, least sticky. Efficiency and sticky is similar, but you know, it can stick a little but also penetrate way deeper and pop chips decently. But yeah, popping the chip. Oh, let me show you the profile. Look at this profile. So this one is the edge. Not super thick, but clearly thick enough where it's an extremely useful axe. You can see it's American Axe on this side, True Temper on this side. Haven't really started a notch with this, have I? It's funny that I used the hatchet and it was, you know, you could cut with a hatchet that's a little long. I showed it, but not really the best. All right. This has some damage to it too. Ooh, that edge is not, feels a little rounded over. but it's keen enough where it sticks. So when you make a notch, this is what I've heard. I don't know if this is true, and I didn't stick to it. So you have your diameter of your timber, right? What you do is you take that dimension and you add an inch, and that's how wide your notch should be. Now this notch is not like that. This notch is not even, it's not even 8 inches. It's not even 7 inches. And this log seems to be 9-inch diameter. So what I do is when I make this first notch, I just line up the other one to that. That's where I want to cut in. That's hard because of the drop off. So there's a lot of wood under the curve, and it's kind of hard to reach. How am I going to get to this? I guess what I got to do is go top down. It's moving like this, it gets a little dangerous and a little dumb. So we'll just pop this chip and call it an evening. Not really popping the chips, right?
Went on for 15 more minutes.
It's not a bad thing to have a little extra weight. Now we'll go from the top and try to pop. Whoops. That's how long the face is. This is a big flat right here. That's why it made this difficult. Very oblong piece of timber. Chop it from the other side. Screw it. Oh, I think my edge is getting dull. Probably not a lot of hardened steel left in this. Very worn. Let's switch. Whoa, missed. That first notch was easy compared to this. There we go. Haha. Whoops. Very close. Aha. Might as well split it. Oh. That was way easier than I thought it'd be. That's hickory for you. Didn't do anything to it.